tackle this one particular thing, not in my formal manner, but in my informal manner, about a lot of people from the deported community. Can I say the deported community? Because again, that we're talking about illegal immigration, we're talking about illegal immigrants, and some people from the white supremacist, white nationalist community are stating that Black Americans need to be worried, or Black Americans' citizenship is being questioned as well. No, it isn't. Donald Trump gave Black Americans an alley-oop and a dunk, so to speak, when he stated that the 14th Amendment was meant for children of slaves. And we know in that this could be essentially amended to a point where it's for lineage-based Black Americans when it comes to foundational Black Americans like ourselves. And when we have these conversations, this was never meant for illegal immigrants. This was never meant for people who are illegally in our country. And here's the other question that I think a lot of people are not asking. Where are Black Americans going to be deported to? Because essentially, the make of Black Americans during the slave trade came from all sorts of countries. Now, most likely West African, but there are people who came from East Africa, South Africa, parts of North Africa. The slave trade was international. But when we're speaking directly to Black Americans in the 14th Amendment, and some people are stating that we can essentially be deported, this is untrue. There's plenty of protections that we have, that we are citizens. And here's another thing. Name these groups of people who have been here as long as we have, other than the white European pilgrims, the enslavers, as well as the red sort of Mongolian type looking people. Black Americans on record have been here since 1526. And there are even reports that we have people who are indigenous to the land who were here prior to 1526. So again, the rhetoric and some of the fear-mongering tactics from the liberal and the Democratic Party is stating that, oh, well, now you see voting for Trump or not voting at all, how that affected and how that will affect Black Americans. It's not going to affect us at all. That's why a lot of us are either speaking out against that rhetoric, or we're just being quiet altogether. That's why I keep telling people, when it comes to the deportation of people who are illegally in the country, I don't matter what country they're from. Again, they're from all around the world, not just Central America, not just South America. They're from all around the world. So with that being said, again, we have Black Americans in law enforcement. We have Black people in ICE, CPP, DEA, ATF, NSA, CIA, FBI, Homeland Security, you name it. We have Black Americans everywhere. So they are part of this as well. This is their job to enforce the law. This is their job to enforce the executive order. So this whole rhetoric behind and these fear-mongering tactics like, oh, you see what this gets you and this see you, they're rolling back DEI. Again, I tell people the worst thing you can do is look at people who try to fearmonger you and to scare you, because what does that do for you now? That does absolutely nothing for you now. What's done is done. The actions that Donald Trump is taking on the surface seem as though it's going to benefit America, and we need to be here for it. We need to be here for it. That doesn't mean that you need to chime in or verbally support or monetarily support those things. Not at all. But to be fearmonger to vote for the Democrats once again after Donald Trump's 4 years is up. Oh, well, he's starting a dictatorship. He proposed legislation for him to do a third term. No, he did not. That was from a senator who trying to find a loophole in the Constitution. But when it comes to the Constitution and serving a third term, okay, that loophole is closed. There's no loophole. You are to serve no more than 2 4-year terms. Period. That's it. Okay, that's it. It's going to have to be moving earth and heaven in order to change the Constitution. You're going to have to have the executive branch, the legislative branch, the judicial branch, all to collude to state that, oh yeah, you know what, he can do a third term. But the way that it was written, Donald Trump could do a third term, but Barack Obama couldn't do a third term. And it really doesn't matter, right? Because I think that's a misnomer. That absolutely will not happen. Could I be wrong? It's possible, but I doubt it, because you have people from all demographics of America, who are American citizens, who are strong believers in the Constitution and upholding the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and in the Declaration of Independence, all of these that we have to making America, what makes America a country. So you're going to have people that's going to come out, senators, congressmen, all sorts of, counties, cities, state, local, come out against that, because that's one of the first hallmarks of making America a dictatorship. Don't forget that Franklin D. Roosevelt, he served 4 consecutive terms, all together. So he served 16 years. 16 years as president. And the forefathers and legislators like, nope, never again. That will not ever again. You only need to serve 2 4-year terms. That is it. Either be consecutive or non-consecutive. So again, people are proposing these legislations that are going to die before they even hit their president's desk. Now, am I inclined that Donald Trump, if it came to his desk to be signed into law, would he sign it? I believe so. I believe so that Donald Trump would sign it, but I don't think it would make it that far. But again, for people to try to fearmonger black folk into supporting illegal immigrants, for people that look like us, who may sometimes be us, to encourage us or discourage us from not shopping at Target or Amazon or any of these stores that eradicated their program from DEI, do your darn research. DEI never benefited black folk. Now, we understand that DEI used in some corners of America, as a euphemism to say, oh, black people. No. And that's what America does not understand, because, again, we rather listen to the voice boxes of people that we normally agree with, right? We would be Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, News Nation. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Whatever you feel or whatever you deem that your views and perspective align with, that's who you mostly listen to. So DEI has not benefited black Americans like the report state. Go and look at the Department of Labor. The groups of demographics that have benefited from DEI, and I'll try to give them in order of percentages, I'll try to give them in order of presidents, have been white women, white men, Hispanics, legal and illegally, Asians, and I believe the LGBT community, and then black folk. We have not benefited from that. Our history in America is that black Americans, we always have to be stronger, faster, smarter to get these positions, whether it be in government or in corporate America. We always have to be the smartest, or we have to be the top of the class in order to get these positions. So all this DEI this and DEI that, listen, there is a group of so-called black Americans who are crying out about DEI. Oh, I'm going to remove my products from these shelves. I'm no longer going to sell my items on these platforms. Okay, what were you doing before DEI? You were selling your items in Target. You were selling your items in Amazon. So all of a sudden they initiated these DEI initiatives, and somehow you thought you benefited from that, but you never really did, because your items were already on the shelves. And now, because you're supporting a program that never really benefited black folk in the first place, now you want to remove your brands? Okay, so be it. I tell other people, go and use that shelf space, because evidently they're not informed enough. I don't want to call them ignorant, because it has a negative connotation, but they're ignorant because no one is doing the research, because that's the hard thing. The easy thing is to tune in to your favorite news station or your broadcaster or your YouTube creator or your influence and just listen to them run their mouth like I'm doing right now. But no one is giving you the unbiased truth, because it's easy to scare people rather than give them the truth, where it has them to think, where it has them to go research, where it has them to go and find the truth for themselves, right? Give them references, show them where to go. This is very easy. So again, black Americans who lineage stems from the slave grounds of the American lands, whether it be north, south, east, or west, will not be deported. Now, again, not all black Americans, I want to make sure I point this out, not all black Americans are foundational Black Americans, because you have people from the Caribbean like Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, who have citizenship now, and they could essentially say, well, I'm Black American. Well, your lineage is not from 1526. Your lineage is not from 1619. Your lineage is not from 1719, one of our first census records. So if your lineage is not from that, you're not a foundational Black American, and we will not be removed. Because if you're going to, again, if you're going to deport me, then you're going to have to deport me from Washington, D.C. I was born in Southeast Community Hospital in Southeast Washington, D.C., so that is where I will be deported to. A lot of you guys, whether you move states or cities, will have to be deported back to your state or city. But as far as these United States of America and this American soil, oh no, we will not be deported. But I will tell you one thing. On your way out, take your children, take all your stuff, because again, we might just come in and, grab a couple of items that we may need. But anyway, you guys have a great, wonderful day. See you guys later. This is Blacklogic.